As Draupadi entered his room, she found Bheema asleep, snoring like a lion. The chamber, filled with Draupadi's beauty and Bheema's effulgence, seemed ablaze with splendor. The princess went up to Bheema's bed and embraced him, just as a creeper embraces a shala tree. And in a voice as sweet as the sound of a veena, Draupadi spoke. "O Bhimasena, rise up. Why do you sleep like someone dead? How can a sinful wretch survive after insulting the wife of one who lives?" "Oh, why have you woken me, gentle princess? You appear pale and sorrowful. Surely the incident today in Bharata's court must be the reason, for I too am burning with anger as I remember it. Now, tell me the cause of your sorrow, O Panchali, and I shall do whatever lies in my power. I will always do whatever pleases you, and I am prepared to deliver you from danger again and again. Quickly, let me know your desire, and then go back to your bed before others wake up." "Oh, how can one who has Yudhishthir as her husband ever be free of grief? You know everything, O Bharata, and so you have no need to ask. The grief I felt when Dushashan dragged me into the assembly hall still burns me day and night. What other princess could live after such an insult? How could anyone survive what I suffered at the hands of Jayadratha? Who else but me could endure being kicked in the presence of the Matsya king? Oh, of what use is my life when you allow me to suffer all of these pains, my dear hero?" Bheema gently stroked his wife's face as she wept. She looked into Bheema's angry eyes and continued speaking. "That wicked Kichaka wants me to marry him. Oh, as I remember his words, my heart bursts like an overripe fruit. O slayer of foes, all of my sufferings are due to your elder brother's addiction to dice. Who else but him could have sacrificed everything, including his own self, for the sake of gambling? Having lost inestimable quantities of wealth, he now supports himself by dicing. The great King Yudhishthir, who was once worshipped by throngs of brahmanas and tributary kings, now hides himself in fear, overpowered by calamity. That Lord of men, who is free from cruelty, who is full of compassion, who is forbearing and truthful, has become a gambler in the court of King Virat. Now he depends on another's mercy for his subsistence. Surely he is experiencing the misery of hell." Draupadi poured out all of her pent-up grief. The time spent in the kingdom of Virat had passed slowly for her, and with no opportunity to speak to her husbands and to be solaced by them, she had suffered silently. It was agonizing to see her 5 heroic husbands living as servants, and her own position as a serving maid was practically intolerable. Only her sense of duty and loyalty to Yudhishthir sustained her. Although she criticized Yudhishthir to Bheema, she would never consider being disloyal to him, even for a moment. She spoke at length of her sorrow at seeing Yudhishthir's plight, and so Bheema consoled her. Now, taking hold of Bheema's hands, the Panchala princess continued, "O Bharata, I shall now tell you of another great grief. Do not become angry, as I speak only out of sadness in my heart. But seeing you a servant and cook causes me more distress than I can bear. When Bharata joyfully made you fight with elephants, and the ladies of the palace laughed, my mind sank in sorrow. Indeed, I fainted, and the queen had to revive me." "Oh, Sairendri, it seems you harbor some attachment for this cook. Both of you came to Virat together, and I often see you lamenting for him. Are you attached to this handsome Vallabha?" And she still chides me in this way, which only increases my pain. Draupadi then described to Bheema the pain she felt upon seeing Arjuna acting as a eunuch. The mighty Dhananjay, the scourge of his enemies, and fearful even to the celestials, now lives in a guise despised by all men. Covering his body with gaudy clothes and bangles, that hero lives in grief, surrounded only by women. When I see the dreadful wielder of the bow bedecked with ornaments and his hair tied in a braid, my heart burns with anguish." Bheema remained silent as Draupadi spoke, revealing to him all the pain she was experiencing upon seeing each of her husbands in the position of servitude. Finally, Draupadi concluded, "O Bheema, I tell you all of this only so that you may be aware of my suffering. You are always my protector and shelter, and so I depend upon you fully. O son of Pandu, surely in some past life I must have offended some great deity, and so I am thus receiving the results. The destiny of men is difficult to understand. For when I see you 5 brothers cast into sorrow, and myself subjected to the hard miseries of a maidservant, I consider it all the workings of inscrutable destiny. However, I do not know how much longer I can carry on. Just look at my hands." Draupadi held out her hands and showed Bheema the calluses caused by the work she was doing for the queen. Hearing of her suffering and seeing her condition, Bheema simply covered his face and cried. After some moments, Bheema composed himself and spoke in sorrow. "Fie on the strength of my arms, and fie upon Arjuna's Gandiva bow, since I now see your 2 lotus hands scarred by work. O princess, I would have wrought havoc in Virata's court, but Yudhishthir restrained me. Why, with a single kick, I would have crushed Kichak's head. O Panchali, when I saw him strike you, I was ready to destroy the entire Matsya race. It was only due to Dharmaraj that I held myself back. You see, I too suffer in silence, O beautiful one, that we have been expelled from our kingdom, and that I have not yet annihilated the Kauravas, as well as that we are forced to live here as servants, scorches my limbs and afflicts my heart as if it were pierced with a dart." Bheema told Draupadi to be patient and not criticize Yudhishthir. Bheema cited the examples of other great ladies who had followed their husbands in times of misery. Eventually, they were all brought again to happiness due to their virtuous practices. Bheema held Draupadi's hands as he continued to speak. "Oh, less than 1 month now remains of our exile. After that time, you will again become an empress, so do not doubt." Suddenly, Draupadi threw herself onto Bheema's chest. "I do not think I will last that long. That wicked-minded Kichaka will not leave me alone. He has no fear from anyone, and will doubtlessly seek to outrage me if I do not accept him. That wicked man is without virtue. He is proud, cruel, impudent, and warlike. He is absorbed only in gratifying his own senses. Why, even the king has no power over him, and so he will not hesitate to approach me as he pleases. O Bheema, although you Pandavas are adhering to your pledge out of virtue, you will surely suffer a loss of virtue when I am violated and thus give up my life. To protect one's wife is the first duty of a pious husband, for from the wife one's own self is born as the son. For heroes, there is always virtue in repressing an enemy. O mighty one, as you have always rescued me from wicked men, I entreat you to slay Kichaka without delay. For if he should live for even 1 more day, I will swallow poison and give up my life." Bheema made up his mind. He could not tolerate Draupadi's pain. Taking her by the shoulders, he spoke. "O gentle one, I will do as you say. Today I will slay Kichaka and all of his followers. Now, listen carefully. When the sun rises, you should go to Kichaka with sweet smiles. Tell him that you secretly hold within your heart an attraction for him. Then you should arrange to meet him in the evening. There is a dancing hall some distance from the other residences, which is empty at night. Have him come there, and I shall greet Kichaka and send him to meet his ancestors." Overjoyed, Draupadi embraced Bheema and then left his room. Just after dawn the next day, Kichaka went to the palace to seek out Draupadi. Finding her in the queen's quarters, Kichaka said, "O timid one, yesterday you witnessed my power. Although I threw you down in front of the king, he said nothing. He is king in name only. I am the actual ruler here. Now, accept me as your lord, and I shall bestow heaps of gold and gems upon you. 100 male and 100 female servants will wait upon you. You will ride on the best of chariots. O beautiful lady, let us be united." Draupadi glanced down demurely with utter coy. Turning herself slightly away from Kichaka, she replied, "O Kichaka, our union together must be without anyone else's knowledge. I am afraid of my husband's. So, if we can lie together secretly, then I shall be yours." With his face blooming with happiness, Kichak replied most eagerly, "Oh yes, it shall be exactly as you say. I am completely under your control and overpowered by Cupid. O lady of beautiful thighs, we can meet in some lonely place where no one shall detect us." Within herself, Draupadi felt most sickened, but outwardly she smiled. Yes, not far from here is the king's dancing hall. The princess uses it only in the day. I will go there 2 hours after sunset. O hero, meet me there." Then at once Draupadi left and went to her own chamber. Thinking of the night to come, the day seemed like a month. So on the plea of feeling ill, she remained in her room the entire day. She felt sullied and dirty by her conversation with Kichak, and would only feel peaceful when he was slain. As for his own part, Kichak was now filled with anticipation. As the evening approached, Kichak dressed carefully and ornamented himself. He put on fragrant garlands and smeared his limbs with perfumes and sandalwood paste. Overpowered by lust, he waited for nightfall. Oh, how the time was dragging on! As soon as the sun had set, Bheema made his way to the dancing hall. He slipped inside and hid himself, waiting for Kichak's arrival. Draupadi also came there, and not before long, Kichak entered the darkened hall. He called out for Draupadi. "Oh, being praised for my beauty by the women in my house, I came here thinking of you only. You shall become the best of my consorts, and I shall give you immense wealth. O fair maiden, where are you? Where are you?" "Oh yes, by my good fortune you have come here tonight, O handsome one. I am anticipating your touch to be burning me, and you are an expert at gallantry and chivalry. Indeed, there is no other man as attractive as you are to women. O hero, I am over here." Kichak moved in the direction of the sound of Draupadi's voice. Bheema was hiding behind a silk drape at the side of the hall, and as Kichak passed by, Bheema suddenly came out and stood before him. Bheema's angry voice boomed out. "Today your sister shall behold you, vile as you are, thrown down on the earth with your limbs shattered. With you slain, Cyrindri shall wander freely without any fear. Then too shall we, her husbands, live happily." Immediately Bheema seized hold of Kichak by the hair, which was adorned with garlands, and dragged him down. Kichak was shocked. Cyrindri had tricked him. Trying to shake off the slight inebriation from the wine he had been drinking, Kichak pulled himself free from Bheema's grasp. Bheema punched Kichak with his iron-hard fists. Kichak took hold of Bheema's 2 arms and tried to kick away his feet. The 2 mighty men shuffled violently around the hall, locked together in combat. They appeared like 2 celestial monkeys, Vali and Sugriva, fighting together in days of yore. Breaking apart, they stood belligerently facing one another. Their upraised arms looked like two pairs of furious five-hooded serpents. They struck one another with the force of thunderbolts. The empty hall resounded with great cracks, and the walls trembled. Now enraged, they fought with fists, nails, and teeth. They kicked and hurled each other about with the force of a tempest or violent storm. Neither showed fatigue nor wavered. Blows rained down without cessation as both men became worked up into a fury. Like two powerful bulls, they came against each other again and again. And as their blows landed, it seemed that the air was filled with the sound of trees splitting apart. Kichaka was astounded at his opponent's power. Although Kichaka had fought and defeated great heroes all over the world, but Kichaka had never encountered such a foe as this. Why, it was like fighting with the mountain or the very earth itself. Kichaka exerted himself to his full power, trying to throw the unshakable Bheema to the ground. But Bheema caught Kichaka in an embrace which crushed him like a steel vice. Breathing in deeply and expanding his massive chest, Kichaka finally broke free. Instantly, Bheema came at him again, striking him on the chest. Then Bheema threw Kichaka across the hall, just as a hurricane tosses a tree. Mustering all of his strength, Kichaka rushed at Bheema and took hold of his neck. Kichaka pulled the Pandava down and brought his knee onto his chest with all of his power. Bheema was thrown to the floor, but he rolled over quickly. Bheema looked up at Kichaka with burning eyes. Appearing like Yamaraj with mace in hand, Bheema rose from the floor, blazing with anger. He bellowed at Kichaka and rushed at him like a maddened elephant charging another. The two heroes again locked together, grunting and grappling as they moved about the hall. Although Kichaka was a powerful fighter, expert in all forms of combat, he found all of his moves more than matched by Bheema. Gradually, Kichaka felt his strength waning. Seeing his foe weakening, Bheema became even more energetic. He took hold of Kichaka and crushed him in his mace-like arms. Unable to catch his breath, Kichaka fell senseless to the floor. Bheema grabbed his hair and roared like a lion that had just killed a large animal. Lifting his groggy opponent above his head, Bheema whirled Kichaka about violently. Bheema then smashed Kichaka onto the marble floor and fell upon him. Placing his knees on Kichaka's chest, Bheema took hold of his throat, strangling him. Draupadi was most joyful as she watched Bheema pound Kichaka into a mutilated mess. Bheema thrust Kichaka's arms, legs, and head into his body, reducing him to a shapeless lump of flesh. His anger now appeased by the death of Kichaka, Bheema stood up and turned to Draupadi. "O Panchali, see what I have done to this wretch. You should know that anyone who seeks to harm you will meet with a similar end. O beautiful-haired one. Bheema left the hall, making his way back to his own room. Draupadi returned to the palace and told the guards that they should go to the dancing hall. I think you will find there one who desired another's wife. Slain by my Gandharva husbands, he lies weltering in utter gore. The guards ran to the hall and saw the dead body of Kichaka. They gazed in amazement at his mangled body. Gradually, thousands of soldiers came there to see their slain commander lying amid his scattered ornaments. All of them were astonished. He was hardly recognizable. Who was capable of such a feat? Kichaka was an almost invincible warrior who had beaten the best of wrestlers and fighters in the world. The soldiers gasped in disbelief. None of them suspected Vallabha. Struck with wonder, they stood about asking, "Who could have done this? Where are Kichaka's arms and legs? Where is his head?" And as Kichaka's followers looked at him, they were filled with fear. Talking among themselves, they concluded that their leader must have been killed by the Gandharvas. They lifted his body, which resembled the body of a tortoise with its limbs withdrawn, and carried him outside the hall to perform the funeral rites. As they made their way to the cremation ground, they saw Draupadi watching them. Knowing that Kichaka had gone to meet her, some of them exclaimed, "There she is, the unchaste one for whom Kichaka was slain. She too should be killed. Let us burn her along with our lord." Some of the soldiers sought the king's permission to execute Draupadi by placing her on the fire along with Kichaka. Knowing the power of his commander's followers, the king agreed. At once, the Sutas ran to Draupadi and seized her. They bound the struggling princess and placed her upon the large open casket along with the corpse of Kichaka. Draupadi cried out in terror as she was being carried away toward the crematorium. "Oh, may Jai, Jayanta, Vijay, Jayatsena, and Jayadbala hear my words. Save me! Save me! The Sutas are carrying me away. Let those heroic Gandharvas, whose chariots and bows resound like thunder, understand that their wife is in the greatest peril." Bheema could hear her pitiful cries, so without hesitation he ran from his room. He could understand that Kichaka's followers were taking Draupadi to the crematorium. The Pandava went there by a different route without being seen, his head covered with a cloth. Scaling walls and crossing gardens, Bheema swiftly reached the crematorium ground, which lay just outside the city. He found a great palmyra tree and immediately uprooted it. He placed it on his shoulders. Kichaka's followers arrived and saw Bheema standing like death personified, holding his rod of chastisement. They all howled in fear. "Oh, this must be the Gandharva who killed Kichaka. Release Sairindri before he kills us all." The Sutas put Draupadi down and ran in all directions. Bheema pursued them relentlessly, striking them down with the palmyra tree. and as he struck out at them, he knocked over other trees, which fell crashing to the ground. Roaring like a furious lion, Bheema slew all of the Sutas one after another. Within a short time, the crematorium was covered with more than 100 dead bodies. They all lay about like uprooted trees. Telling Draupadi to return to her rooms, Bheema quickly went back by the route he had come before anyone could discover him. Hearing all of the commotion from the crematorium, the citizens of Virat rushed to see what was causing all of this. Discovering the slain Sutas, they ran to the king and informed him, "O king, the powerful Suta followers of Kichaka have all been slain, and they are scattered about like so many mountain summits clapped by thunderbolts. Surely this is the work of the Gandharvas, enraged by Kichak's assault on Sairindri. She is now returning to your city unharmed. Oh, we are most afraid of her. She is beautiful beyond compare. The Gandharvas are powerful and wrathful, and men are undoubtedly lustful. Quickly do something so that our city may not be destroyed." "Oh, this is most astonishing. All right, let Kichaka and all of his followers be cremated on one great pyre along with gems and perfumes. And I myself will take care of Sairindri. Now, my queen, when Sairindri comes, tell her this from me. O fair one, please go now wherever you like with my blessings. We are afraid of the Gandharvas, that they will destroy us. Indeed, I am too fearful to even speak with you directly." And as Draupadi entered the city, the people fled in all directions like deer seeing a tiger. Some even shut their eyes and covered their heads. Draupadi went back into the palace, and after she had bathed, the queen approached her and conveyed King Bharata's message. Draupadi replied, "O queen, allow me to remain here for just only 2 more weeks. The Gandharvas will be obliged to you for this favor. After that, they will take me away from here and then do whatever is agreeable to you." The queen assented and agreed. She released Draupadi from her duties. After telling her to remain in the palace until her Gandharva husbands came, the queen left to inform King Virata. "Namaste Narasinghaya, Praklad Aklad Dayane, Hiranya Kashipo Vakshaha, Shilatankana Kalayi, Ito Nrsinga Parato Nrsinho, Yato Yami Tato Nrsimha, Bahir Nrsimho Hridaye Nrsimho, Nrsimham Adin Sharanam Prapadye, Namaste Narasinghaya, Nrsingham Adin Sharanam Prapadye, Kamala Bari Nakam Adbhuta Sringam Dalita Hiranyakashipo Tanubringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Keshavadrita Narsingha Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadish Jai Jagadish Jai Jagadisha Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare